After 15 years of marriage, I asked my wife for a divorce. I had asked for a divorce before, but she always resisted. She refused again this time too, and did nothing to improve the relationship afterwards. But I was serious this time. I checked out of the marriage and later found someone new, AP, who was also unhappy in her own marriage. I wasn't looking for an AP or a new partner at all, but after a few dates, I could not deny that the heart wants what the heart wants. My now ex-wife originally thought I wanted a divorce because I was unhappy and unfulfilled with her. So maybe she thought she still had a chance to win me back. But after she found out about AP, she went scorched earth. I then spent the next 2 years and an unbelievable amount of money trying to unfuck everything. But after a lot of careful maneuvering and legal wrangling, my AP got divorced, and I got divorced. Having supported each other throughout all the legal battles and the spying and the manipulation, we both knew we had each other's backs. So getting married was a no-brainer. Now we've been married for 2 years and have a child together. We are both in our 40s. This will probably be my final update here. If you are a serial cake eater who cheats for the thrill of it, this post is probably not for you. I won't judge you, but please stay safe. If you are unhappy in your marriage but don't want to divorce because of the children or because marital vows mean something, this post might be for you. If you are a regular reader of the divorce sub, a reconciliation sub, such as One After Infidelity, or a sub that provides support for victims of infidelity/cheating, this post might be for you. If you have checked out of your marriage but don't have the courage to actually get divorced, this post is definitely for you. If you are a regular reader of Legit After Adultery, this post is definitely for you. Here we go. My former AP wife and I celebrated our 2-year wedding anniversary earlier this month, and our marriage is still going strong. Now that we don't have to sneak around anymore, some of the excitement is admittedly gone. But because we don't have to hide and worry about OPSEC anymore, the emotional and psychological load we no longer have to carry more than offsets the loss of the thrill of secrecy and trying to avoid getting caught. I remember those days. Taking days off from work so we could spend the day together since meeting after work in the evenings was too high risk. Finding ways to bypass my ex-wife's snooping and reconnaissance so we could set up dates. Trying to stay emotionally present at home in front of my children, even though I felt like a dead tree when interacting with their mother. Trying to emotionally thread the needle and not gush too much over my AP when I was at home, even after I got caught, because I didn't want to further agitate my ex-wife and make my upcoming divorce even more painful. Reliving the horrors of the end days of my marriage in every $500 an hour phone call with my divorce attorney. Lamenting that the judge sided with the wrong parent, resulting in my losing custody of our children. It took several years and many thousands of dollars in legal fees and court costs, but I'm in a better place now. My wife and I still joke about our exes. Her ex-husband was much more reasonable than my ex-wife was. My ex-wife told my then AP's ex-husband about our affair. But it didn't matter because my AP asked him for a divorce, and she didn't want him to pay her any alimony or settlement money. She let him keep everything because she was done. While her ex-husband never shared the contents of my ex-wife's call with him, he never contacted me, likely because he knew there was no upside for any of us. My ex-wife tried to threaten my job by warning that she'd tell HR at my job about me. But it didn't matter because HR is not mommy and daddy, and my personal life had no bearing on my ability to do my job. If anything, her going scorched earth only served to permanently sour my relationship with her, and it exposed her as a vindictive loser who refused to acknowledge her own role in the failure of our marriage. To this day, she has not said a word to my wife, the woman she sued. The woman who had all the evidence on her side and who had tried to turn my family, friends, and colleagues against me, overplayed her hand. And now we do not speak to each other at all. That's unfortunate, but that's a result of the choices she made. Our children, the children from my first marriage, have developed a good relationship with their new stepmother and with their baby brother. Even though my ex-wife has primary custody, the kids see the difference in how I treat them versus how their mother treats them. And they said that I am clearly happier with my new wife, and they like staying with me because Daddy's house is relaxing and full of laughter, even if our time together is short. I feel like we're just a regular married couple now. We fight occasionally, and some evenings we just don't have much to say to each other. Having a baby also put a dampener on our sex life, but sex was never the focus of our relationship back when we were APs. We are now growing through life together, but without having to look over our shoulders anymore. It feels good. Yeah, I'm still in debt from all the legal fees, but at least I have my freedom. Because we've both been married before, I think this makes our marriage stronger in that we communicate more openly than we did in our previous marriages. We are better at knowing which battles to pick and which hills to die on. Sometimes we hold our tongue, and sometimes we call each other out on something we don't like. Neither of us has cheated over the course of our marriage. We both agreed to just let the other person be free if we ever felt our feelings for each other die. And I made an incredible friend on this forum who was going through something similar, and she also found the courage to get divorced herself, and she actually did it as a result of reading my original post here. And now I have been promoted to her self-described board of directors because of our bond. How do I respond to people who say, keep reading? Once a cheater, always a cheater. You guys deserve each other. If we're so undesirable and undateable, then why do you care if we enter new relationships? Enjoy your life, forget about us, and move on. And besides, there are many reasons why people cheat, and not all of these reasons are because of horniness, selfishness, or a lack of self-control. Yeah, there are some people who enjoy sneaking and sleeping around, but some of us are in dead bedrooms and long to be touched and desired again, which is a biological need for many of us. Some of us have checked out from the marriage but don't want to get divorced for whatever reason: finances, kids, family shame, religious beliefs, etc. Some of us had a one-night stand that was truly unintended, and we truly regret that. Some of us waited until marriage at your request to have sex, only to find out that you didn't like sex or had a low sex drive, and now we're trapped. Some of us love our partners but just can't handle monogamy. Some of us are going through a rough patch in our marriages, and maybe an AP we develop can help us clarify our priorities. Some of us have revenge sex with an AP to punish our spouses if we feel they have wronged us. And some of us already have one foot out the door and are only technically cheating because our divorce isn't finalized yet. And some of us are in toxic marriages in which the betrayed spouse is actually the abuser or the manipulator, and having an AP allows us to escape. The point is, none of us truly know what's going on with another person's marriage and what prompts them to seek physical and emotional connections elsewhere. So why judge them? And if we are so unattractive to you because of our behavior, then why not just leave us alone and not look back? What about the children? I can't break up my family. I get it, this hurts, especially if the other partner gets primary custody of the children. But children are smart and resilient too. Would you rather your children grow up with two parents who are arguing all the time and creating an environment of condescension and mistrust? Or would you rather have them grow up with one parent where there's peace in the house? What lessons do you want to teach your children about love? Additionally, I think it's important to separate being a good parent from being a good spouse. You don't have to live with your spouse to be a good parent. But sometimes staying with a bad spouse can make you a bad parent because of the inevitable contempt that you will develop towards your spouse. Your children are observing everything, and they will come to see that one parent was telling the truth all along while the other parent was maligning them unfairly. You can't control what your spouse does. Just live your best life and set the best example you can for your kids. That includes showing them what self-respect looks like in the context of love and marriage. In my case, I wish I could spend more time with them in their high school and junior high school years, but I do look forward to reconnecting with them when they are old enough to not need a custodial order anymore. Do marriage vows not mean anything? When you exchange marriage vows, that does not give your spouse a license to mistreat you and for you to stay in the marriage and endure the mistreatment simply because you promised you would never leave each other. You both have to keep working at a marriage in order to make it work. But if only one person is putting forth the effort, or if one person is not making an effort to change things for the better, why stay? Do you really want to spend the next 30 or 40 years of your life chained to an unfulfilling partner just because you made a promise in your 20s or 30s? I mean, it's your life, but that sounds like such a waste. How do I know if my AP will really get divorced? If you're asking this question, I would suggest that you change your frame of mind. You don't get a divorce because you found someone new. You get a divorce because you don't want to be with your spouse anymore. Unless you and your AP both go to the courthouse at the same time, one of you is going to get divorced first. Your divorce should speak volumes to the AP who is still married. What your AP does with their marriage is beyond your control, but how long you are willing to wait for your AP to clean up their life is within your control. If you're both waiting for the other